Olá, criadores! Bem-vindos a mais um episódio do seu programa favorito de literatura, arte, drama e tretas. Como sempre, teremos muitos casos e histórias para contar. Se você gosta de um bom papo e cheio de ideias subversivas, este é o seu podcast.
Hi everyone, nice to have you here on the first all-English episode of creator of, how do we translate that? Of issues, creator of situations. Anyway, that is something that we can discuss about it. I never translated my own podcast title before, but anyhow, it's a pleasure to have here again. But we have a special guest, Dr. Edward Dramberger. You are our first in all English. So I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to read your curriculum. He's a director of tourism Del Mar. He's developed courses. And this man has done so many things. He's originally from Texas. And he's currently working on a selected countries destination films and launching a national TV travel show. Is that right?
In Portugal, yes. The pilot will be in Portugal.
Oh my God. There's going to be a lot of conversation. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Yes. First of all,
best country.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Chris, I appreciate it.
It's all my pleasure because you are an international celebrity. So this is great. It is not all the time I have that.
That and a quarter will get you a cup of coffee.
Well, we guarantee the coffee.
I know.
Well, we need to pamper you with something. So
exactly.
Well, so honestly, it's great to have you here. So you have so many stories around the world. I don't know even where to start.
Well, the first thing is there's not a lot of people like me in tourism, in the discipline of tourism, in the sense of some people are pragmatic. So they go the hotel route, business, travel, or some go academic. Professor of university teaching about tourism, hospitality, but I'm both. And that separates me from a lot of people. When I was 6 years old, a little boy, I knew I wanted tourism from the very beginning because I was the first one packed on my summer vacation. I knew where I was going. My parents would tell me, I would complain at the hotel. I would order I grew up in a big family, 6 people. I would order the most expensive meal in the restaurant at 6 years old. So I knew travel and tourism was for me. And I knew that I wasn't going to be not the average person, let me say. I knew I wasn't going to be like everyone else, having the white picket fence with the wife and the kids and settling down and all that. That wasn't for me. My father just died last year, and what he wrote was very inspirational. He said, Edward is in love with distance and uncharted places. And that really captures me in a nutshell. Distance and uncharted places. And I've been with the Iban tribe in Borneo, which I've been with the king and the queen.
Cannibals.
Yes.
Right.
I've been with the king and the queen. I've been with, just paupers, and I've been with very influential people.
Excuse
around the
me. Is it true that the cannibals in Bora Bora, the same word for head is for coconut? So better not get mistaken.
No,
when you order the coconut.
No, exactly. But excuse me, that's in Papua New Guinea.
Oh, I
Papua
beg
New
your
Guinea,
pardon.
not Bora Bora.
Oh,
Papua New
sorry.
Guinea.
I'm sorry. I got it
That's
wrong.
fine. In a sense, about 10 years ago, I wanted to see what the best beaches in the world were.
Wow.
So I took
Hard work.
Yes, but I've done everything we talk about. We'll talk about my book in a little bit. But I bought a ticket around the world just to go to exotic beach resorts, to find the best beach resort so I could put it in my book. So I started west to east. So I started in California, and then I went to Hawaii, which is passe. Then I went to Bora Bora. It's okay. Bora Bora. I went to Fiji. I went to the Maldives, Mauritius, and Seychelles. The best beach resort in the
Copacabana
world.
Beach.
I did not go to. I've been to Copacabana before, and it's a beautiful beach and beautiful people. The Brazilian people are just beautiful. The men and the women are beautiful.
I can handle. Which is the best beach in the world?
The Maldives.
Oh, gosh. Thanks for the tip.
The Maldives is the best. But when we talk about tourism, we talk about the intangibles and the tangibles. The thing I love about Brazil is the intangible. The things you can't see. You can see a hotel room, you can see food, but you can't see the personality, and you can feel the personality of a Brazilian. They're beautiful people on the beach. This is like the fourth day I've been to Ipanema, and I just go there for the people watching. It's beautiful, the men and the women. But it's the intangible. In Spanish they say corazón. It's the heart.
Corazón.
Like you as well. It's the heart that you can't express. But in my book, if we can talk about my book, it's the Destination Diaries. It's the first book, How to Travel for Life. And I'm very raw. I start when I was 6 years old, like I said before. And I'm going to share something with you, very personal. How to travel for life. I'm bipolar. And I'm bipolar 1.
You don't look bipolar.
Well, bipolar does not discriminate against race, socioeconomic, gender, sex, anything.
Right.
It just is, and it's hereditary.
I know.
So my aunts, I got it from my aunts on my father's side. So lucky me. But anyway, so getting back to the bipolar, that helps me. That helps me appreciate different cultures and different experiences. When we talk about tourism behavior, we talk about there's 3 types of tourism behavior. I'm wearing my professor hat. There's allocentric, psychocentric, and mid-centric. And neither is right or wrong. It just helps marketers, people in business, to draw their destination. I'm the destination doctor, so I help people get people to their destination or their country or their city. But allocentric people on a sphere, allocentric people go to the same condo to the beach year after year. We all know them, and it's neither right or wrong. It's just what it is. They love it because it's familiar to them.
I know people like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I do know too, but
identify. Yeah, can you identify, Lily?
No.
Mid-centric people will go from. I'll use Europe as an example. I used to live in Switzerland. They will go to India or America or the Middle East, but they have to go on a tour. They must go on a tour.
That doesn't look like us, does it?
No, both of them don't look like
And
me.
the
No,
last
not
one,
yet. Not
and
yet.
the last one is probably you two and me, allocentric. Allocentric people will go on a one-way ticket to Nepal or Bhutan with a backpack and just wing it.
I did that, exactly that. I
Yeah.
went to Nepal when I was 21 without having any idea where I was going, and it was the best time.
Awesome.
That
was an
describes me
amazing-
too.
That's awesome.
That's us.
That's
Yoo-hoo!
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
I went on a cargo trip with a cargo ship from
Awesome.
from Berlin, from Germany, from Hamburg to Rio, for
Awesome.
example. That's my kind of trip.
That's nice. That's nice. And that's where you get to see the real people. And the
exactly.
book, there's 15 chapters in the book. And in the chapters are short stories of my travels, meeting people like yourselves. And I'm the guy there, and we talk about their triumphs and struggles in life, like everyone has them. And I'm the guy that goes in between them. So it's a very good read. They already want me. They want me. Publishers want me to publish it in different languages, which I'm doing. People are talking about a movie. The Destination Diaries, a movie. So I'd have rights to that. But I'm working, which brings me to my TV show. I've published. I've done book signings. I've worked in the hotel industry from every job you can imagine. Every job I've done in the kitchen, been a chef in the hotel side, the sales and marketing side, public relations. But the TV show is called Destination Flip Flop. And you and I talked about that.
Yeah, very interesting. But you must hear to that. It's a great concept. Really interesting.
Mm-hmm. One person goes, we choose a location. The pilot's going to be Portugal, interesting enough. And I'm going next week to Portugal to do scouting, to do like site inspection. And one goes luxury, the other one goes budget, a man and a woman. But interesting enough, Chris told me, why don't you do this? And we never thought, the producers, and we never thought about this. Why don't they switch back like 2 or 3 days, go luxury or budget, and then you flip-flop, you switch.
Nice.
So what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I think that when he said the one they'll go a couple and the one go budget and I go luxury, and he said something that was very interesting. He said, "Well, everybody want to go luxury." I said, "Well, yeah," but I thought fair enough they switch at some point because first of all, be fair. Second, be very interesting.
Yeah, because Chris and Lily, if I go budget, I'm in a Saturday market afternoon in a village. Somebody will talk with me, and I'll meet with them, and they may invite me to dinner at their house.
Yeah.
Where I'm luxury, yes, I'm at the Four Seasons or I'm at the Ritz-Carlton and I'm having the spa and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not interacting with local people.
Sure.
And that's the beauty of travel and tourism.
And now I just got, Jesus, we're having a creation table in the middle of the podcast, but whatever. And also, just something snapped me right now. Is something else that we did, I didn't consider, that the relationships, because just wonder. I'm on a budget. Okay, I'm on a budget. I make some relationships in Portugal. I'm on the budget, and I make friends with you. We're Portuguese, and I'm on the budget. I'm a student. I'm broken, and etc. But then the day comes on the switch. You don't know. The day comes. I know, and I say, "Well, come to my house." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going suddenly. I mean, this amazing penthouse with everything, with dinner with caviar and etc.
Yeah, you never know.
And the same thing with the opposite. You know, I mean, the guy have a relationship with this guy with millionaire, 5-star hostel, and then suddenly the guy come to dinner of my house and comes a hostel with sandwich. You know what I mean? That'll be amazing to see how people relation to this.
Relate to it.
Relate to this change as well.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I think there'll be a social as well interaction, very, very enriching to see how every society responds to this abrupt change.
I agree. Lily, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is everyone asks me these questions, and I can give you top 5, but what's the number one country or destination that you enjoyed the most, and why?
That's a very hard question, actually.
It's a hard question.
Because I think it's, first of all, amazing to hear what you say, because to hear the tourist types to be broken down in these categories, it's amazing, because it's like it opens so many possibilities that you can kind of create the perfect holiday or algorithm for someone.
You can.
And because I always thought, well, nobody can create my holiday for me, because you can't book this and this and this. If I want to meet with locals and want to have dinner with locals, you can't book that, because then already it's like this terrible favela safaris you can book here, and it's got nothing to do with it, you know.
Correct.
So I would probably say my journey to Nepal when I was 21 and Brazil.
Awesome.
Because both times in Brazil, I had the big luxury to get to know the country without not really being a tourist, but I came in like an exchange project. So I was working, and only on my 3rd time I went to see the Christ statue, for example.
Nice.
So I went to parties and to places you cannot go. And this is actually what makes me happy, because
me too.
if I feel invisible, then I'm happy, and because then it's like a big present when I don't feel like I'm disturbing or like a foreign body in a, you know. Of course I am foreigner, and that's also something you cannot deny. Yeah. And this happened in Nepal too, because I was very low budget and I didn't make any plans, and I deliberately said, I'm going to go there and I'm just going to inform myself with the most necessary stuff, that is like vaccines and what medication I have to take, but I'm not going to read more than that, because I want to discover the stuff.
Nice.
And that was amazing for me.
Nice. Very nice. Yourself, Chris, what's one of the best destinations you've been to, and why?
Yeah, that it's tough. It's really tough. Well, I must say that I've always been very big fan of Europe, much more than America.
Yeah.
But when I went to New York, I was pretty amazed by New York. I was blown out of proportion, because everybody said that I was like a New York personality type, you know, like you're gonna fit New York, and it was real. Yeah. You know, it was bizarre. Bizarre, because I actually fit New York much better than I fit London. You know, I went to New York practically alone, and I make a friend in every corner. New York has a vibe that I can't describe. You know, it was something that I felt completely at home. It was weird. So I really completely grateful to New York to have this. It was really strange, because everybody met me said, your city is New York, it's not London. No. And I said, nah, can't be. But it was real.
Yeah, and with your personality, definitely. You know, it was
completely. But a trip that I will never forget was also to Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, I love KL.
Yeah, that was because when I got that, I had a feeling that I was getting inside Blade Runner set, you know, because it was very weird, was very futuristic and very decadent, and and very tropical. Looks like Brazil, but everybody looks very oriental and very hot and very, and very different.
Yeah.
And everything was so make me unease. And I like to be uncomfortable. I like to be in this place that I'm not quite
Familiar with.
not quite sure what's going on. I like to be there in that way. A place that you totally safe bores me to death.
Singapore.
Wow, there we go. That's
neighboring. Nothing against, I
That's
love
boring.
every destination. Well, with the exception of one, but most destinations I love. I adapt very well to. Singapore is just kind of opposite of Kuala Lumpur, and they're right by each other.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, it's clean. Yes, it's safe. But
Boring.
Boring. It is boring. Yeah. Kuala Lumpur is a great city, great destination. I used to live in Bangkok.
Oh, cool.
So I had so much business in Southeast Asia, consulting. Instead of going back home to the States, I stayed in Jamtien Beach. Do you know Jamtien? By Pattaya, Jamtien. Jamtien's about an hour and a half south of Bangkok on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived like a king in a high-rise apartment. And I did a lot of work in Jakarta, Indonesia.
Oh, cool.
And we talked about this. So that, when we talk about that, there's good and bad. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly in tourism.
True.
There is.
By the way, talking about good, bad, and the ugly, I want to talk about the funny. Because the funniest, I must
And
say.
then there's the funny.
Yeah, then that is the funny.
yeah.
Which is, that's a question. What was the funniest situation ever been in a culture, like mixed ups? I would say fuck
I
up,
can-
but
I can
I can't
say
say the fuck word.
Well, you just did.
I just,
so that's okay.
But I just did. But the beef word.
That's okay.
Because I had loads of weird stuff. So I suppose you guys probably had as well. So
I am a gay man. Very happy to be. I was in the Iban tribe. Somebody just in Borneo. It took me, I spoke at a conference and the organizer said, you're going to have something special. So it took me 3 hours on a boat in the river through the jungle, and the Iban tribe was right there. Somebody passed away, and they were all mourning, but how they mourn, they drink.
oh my God!
And these women,
this is
these
weird,
women,
man. This is a weird place to be.
these women were after me. And I had a respect. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was a strange situation.
Yes.
So that's
oh my
strange
God!
situation.
Oh, that is funny. And you?
I'm trying to think here. I know that I've passed through
Plenty.
many of these,
Plenty.
but right now I'm trying to think. I'll get back.
Think
think-
because I have few. One didn't happen with me, was a friend of mine, but I thought that was very funny, very simple. Another one didn't happen with me.
Yeah.
One was as soon as I arrived in London, I had this flatmate that she said, "Gosh, I can't buy anything in the shopping because every time I go in a queue to buy, they put a plaque with next customer, please. So I need to move on to the next queue." Was the plaque just separating the shopping? But she thought it was closed.
No.
She said, every time it's my turn, they put
That's
this
funny.
plaque saying, next customer, please. And then I need to move on to the next one. And they put it on again. And I was like, you're never going to shop.
The thing about the British and the Americans, the British are great people, but they think they know it.
Yes.
They know it.
True,
And,
true.
And I went to, speaking of the British, I went to Trans-Siberian Railroad. I went from Moscow to Beijing.
No, is it all?
Oh my God.
No, I must know. Is it all that?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
it's in my
gosh.
book. But you have
Bloody hell.
it's 2 weeks on a train.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So I went from
gosh.
Moscow to Beijing, through
Gosh.
Mongolia, through Siberia, which is enormous. Siberia is just enormous. And we went on Lake Balka. You've heard of Lake Balka, the biggest lake in the world. We went on a hovercraft.
Did you kill someone on a train?
No, I didn't.
Oh, shit.
But I was about to. And that's my next lead into.
Oh, but you're supposed to. It's a part of the trip.
Well, I'll tell you.
Comes with the package.
We were on a hovercraft going through the ice.
Sure.
But anyway, speaking of killing.
That reminds me, another destination.
Agatha Christie. I was on the top bunk. There's 4 people in the car. And I was on the top bunk.
Right.
This woman, Russian woman, was on the bottom. She didn't want me. How was I supposed to get to the top bunk and crawl up without stepping on her bed?
Oh my God.
She had a fit. And I said, honey,
don't worry.
Enough is enough. You can't. I cannot not do it. So every time she would yell at me in Russian, and I'm like, yes, okay, I hear you. And I would do the same thing. I'd do it over again. But anyway, it was very, and then we stayed in on Urt, Mongolia.
Yes.
Fascinating Mongolia. Uttulban, the city, very fashionable. Women, I was shocked. The women are shopping malls and beautiful, just beautiful.
Oh, the Russians are beautiful.
Well,
or the Mongolians.
Yeah, Mongolians. And then I went from Beijing, I went to the area of the world that is the most remote right now. I'm going to pose the question. Where do you think the most remote part of the world is that people don't know about?
Hold on.
I would shoot something somewhere in southern Arabian countries.
North of Siberia.
Okay. Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. All the stans in beach south of Siberia.
If it's called the stan, you're in trouble.
Fascinating, but it is the most remote. Yet the Middle East is as well. But geographically, the stans are the most. And Kazakhstan, rich with oil. Uzbekistan, not the Royal Mile. I'm thinking of the great Marco Polo.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander the Great, Marco Polo, Genghis Khan went through the Silk Road. That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you.
The Silk Road.
The Silk Road through the Uzbekistan, through all the stans. Beautiful. But it's very remote.
A question now. What was the weirdest thing you ever ate?
Yeah, I can tell you the Brazilians will love that.
Really?
Yeah. I went with 2 very dear friends to Mangueira. To the samba school. And we had a very long night with lots to drink and lots of fun. And it was it was like the full moon and the roof open, and we saw the full moon in December, and it was like very dense and beautiful and intense. And we were really worn out when we came out of there. And then there is like this viaduct, like this in front of Mangueira. And underneath this viaduct, they make kind of a soup or a stew that you can eat. And I went there with 2 friends, and like without even asking, I just got a pot of the stew. And I said, what is it? And said, oh, it's just vegetables. I said, okay. And it was really yummy and really rich, and I ate it and it was wonderful. And then afterwards they told me that it was mokoto.
Oh, gosh.
That?
And you have to it's like from the jelly.
Is it like a jelly of the bones?
Oh.
And it's like totally stuff from inside that I would never eat.
Oh,
I'm not a
God.
vegetarian, but I have like this like imagination and like the consistency. I would have never eaten it, I think. But like
But it's good.
But this mocoto that they sell under the bridge in the outskirts of Rio is actually famous because it's so rich.
Yeah.
But it's like doesn't get to any standards of hygiene or whatever. So you better think you're just eating some vegetables and go with it. But that was
And I tell you, this is mocoto. I never ate. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Well,
But apparently, it's if you eat a mocoto, you never die after. Either you die immediately, or you never die after you become immortal.
Two things that I've eaten. I have to say two things. Number one was I used to live in Africa. I used to work in a hotel university, and the kids graduated. They worked in the safari park hotels, on safaris. So I went on safari one afternoon, and I went and I saw a Masamara chief, and he had a walking stick. And he said, come in the village. So I went in there. They had this granulated paste. It was like mush that I had to eat because I had to say face, because I bought a goat. I bought the goat to barter the walking chief stick. I bartered that. Now, another thing in China, we spoke in Qingdao. Qingdao is where they make the famous beer. We were there. I kid you not. There were things crawling on the plate in this banquet. And I can't do it. They eat every kind of animal you can think of in China.
Sure.
But there were these crawling things on the plate.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, no. So that was my thing.
I tell you what, I thought I was going to have some, because I'm a very curious
Eater.
Yeah. I'm not very afraid of eating stuff. I have limits, but I'm not very afraid. So I try different dishes around the world, but the tough one was actually in Brazil.
Where?
On the northwest, very interior of Brazil.
The Amazon.
No, a northwest of but towards the north, but northwest. It's like Nordeste, like interior of Pernambuco, of the state.
I know.
Like what they call sertão, which is a very remote area of Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing a film there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing a film, and I was hanging around with locals. Yeah, but I was the only girl, and I was from Rio, and they decided let's prank her.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
She's from Rio.
Yeah.
She's a girl. Why don't we just, fuck her head up, So we all hang around all day long shooting, and amazing views, because the sertão looks like that place in Arizona, like the big
Utah.
Yeah, like
the Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon looks like the Grand Canyon, with the big hills and all very red, and it was like whoa, amazing.
Nice.
Very dusty, and and the whole thing. So after a whole day shooting, I was like starving, tired, dusty, exhausted, and we stopped in this really small
village.
No village at all. It was a really small barraca. How does
hut? A hut.
A hut, a small hut. And there was this old lady with, that's what I say, never eat from a calderon.
No.
Never. You never know what is in the calderon. I had the same mistake that you did. She was in the big calderon, and everybody was like, oh yeah, let's have this soup. I was like, bring on. I'm starving. I can see anything else to eat around from miles. And said, yeah, Chris, now it's your turn. And I said, bring on. Same thing as you. Bring on. They put this thing on my plate, and I I started, and everybody looking at me. Every single man, they're very rustic man, like, the carioca is eating. I said, yeah, damn right I'm eating. They said, yeah. Do you know what is in it? I said, no, I don't care. I'm eating. I'm starving. And when I finished, said, wow, it was snake and frogs. I was like, shit, man. That was weird. I felt something weird. But well, now it's too late.
What
Right?
Snake and frogs?
Was snake, meat, and frog.
Oh, and frog. Oh, okay.
And I was like,
yeah.
gee.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had frog in Lapa.
Frog,
And it was
frog
very
is all-
delicious.
Yeah, but frog was really annoying. I mean, the snake was okay, but frog. But the problem is the bones. And
Yeah.
really
Lots of
small,
tiny bones.
Tiny bones, really annoying.
Speaking of that area, I swam with the pink dolphins out in the Amazon jungle.
I'm sorry?
I swam with the pink dolphins in the
Oh,
Amazon
gosh.
jungle.
Oh, just,
Yeah, I've done that.
they say they're lovely, yeah?
They're lovely, and then the piranhas are there.
They're not so
They're
lovely.
not so lovely.
Oh, gosh.
No, they're
What
not
a
so
variety.
lovely. But I stayed in a treetop hotel where they were huts, and then we went really far in the Amazon, and then we went to these villages, and we ate with them, and they were very nice.
Let's talk about luxury now.
Okay.
Best hotel, best food ever.
Oh,
I want to
my
know.
God.
I want to know. But I mean, top vacations ever. I mean, that one that you're never gonna forget the luxury.
Dubai.
Oh, have you?
But let me tell you something about Dubai.
It's a nightmare for women, right?
It's a nightmare for women.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a facade.
no,
We had business there. I was in charge of Emirates Airlines contract in the United States, flying from Houston to Dubai nonstop. So I was there. So you know the 7-star hotel that looks like a sail?
Yeah,
We
yes.
had dinner there.
Oh,
Fabulous. But the buildings that are in Dubai that they show, the tall buildings, they're all empty. Half of them are empty.
what?
No, it's a facade. You go once to Dubai to see. But anyway, it was luxury. I mean, it was very nice. They have on the subway, they have first class and economy.
On the
Only in
subway?
Dubai. First class and budget. Yeah, they do.
Jesus.
And only the men.
That is really puts me
Yeah.
off Dubai.
Yeah,
That puts me off Dubai,
it
man.
does. It does.
The way
yeah.
they treat women there. It's
They
like,
do.
I will not
They do.
go and spend my beauty there with you.
No. But-
When you travel, you really, I don't know, it's some magical moments that happen that sticks to you, isn't
It
it?
is. It's
Yeah.
intangible.
Yeah.
We talk about intangible.
Yeah, it's amazing. It was one that I was in Malaysia that has a place that is fantastic. That's one place. There's only 2 places in the world that happens. In this place in Malaysia and this other spot in Amazon. Only these 2 places, which is funny because they have the same temperature, tropical, etc. That has fly. How do you say the
Venus flytrap?
the little insects that shine, fly?
With the lights?
Yeah,
Oh,
fireflies.
Fireflies, yeah.
Yeah, and they said to me, I mean, do you want to go and see the fireflies? And I said, well, I kind of know what it is. It's not that I don't know,
Yeah.
but they said, look, it's really special. And I was like, well, I'm from Brazil. I know what is a firefly. They said, well, it's really special. I said, okay, there's nothing else to do. So I go. So we went through this river and got into this river and going to this little canoe, but really precarious canoe. And I was like, oh my God, I will die in this canoe, obviously, because everything was pitch dark. This river was really, really dark. That looks like have 100 crocodiles waiting for me to die. And the guy said, you need to lay down on a canoe. It's like, lay down a canoe. I said, yeah, it was just me and the man in the canoe. I said, like, okay, I'll be kidnapped, raped, eaten by crocodiles. And I was like, really, Chris, your sense of adventure is going so far away now.
Allocentric.
Yeah, I was like, man, you're going. It's like, my God, how am I going to explain to my mom? Yeah, because you're in the middle.
Better don't.
Of, yeah, like in the middle of absolutely. You even don't know how to explain where you are, you know. So anyway, I went. Obviously, I went in the canoe. I lay down, and the guy was like canoeing in the middle of this pitch black. Man, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see what was river, what was plants, what was sky, because I couldn't see anything. It was pitch black, honestly. And I was like, oh my God, well done, Chris. Well done. And he carried on going this long river. Suddenly, I see the fireflies came, one firefly, and suddenly was millions everywhere, and the whole river was like the stars in the sky fell down, and it was all around me, on my hands, all around me, sitting on me. Man, I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop crying because it was the more amazing thing. I could hold in my hands. It was like something like completely magical, completely by nature magical. And I was like, it's the only two places in the world, here and Amazon. I couldn't stop thinking about it, And I was like, man, this is so strange, because if I didn't go to this really weird place and, put a little bit of faith and madness, I couldn't see that, which I can spend a lot of time here talking, but I can't really describe the emotion of that moment, because you really feel connected to something really huge,
You do.
Inexplicable, and that was really amazing. And it was just me,
Nice.
Wow.
It's just you. My problem in travel is, why can't I just enjoy, for me, the moment? I think I have to, and I'm being brutally honest right now, I think I have to tell everyone what I'm doing, where I'm going.
At the moment, isn't it? Because in the past, we had more privacy, isn't it?
Yeah, but why is it that I just can't enjoy for me and not have publicity and not have all the trappings that go along with it, and just enjoy it for me? And if anybody doesn't believe that I had that experience, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm working on now as I get older.
Sure. I feel that every time I need to register something, I lost a bit of my soul, when I take a picture, it's like taking the enjoyment of the moment, isn't it? It's lightly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But travel, I don't know how much more time we have, but travel sets you free from ignorance, from stereotype. Travel is the best education in the world. And I tell students the difference between America and Europe or South America or Australia is, after high school, like in Australia, UK, Europe, they'll take a year off like you did, or 2 years off. But in America, no, Johnny's going to pass me up. I have to get my degree so I can get a good job, so I can get all the trappings, the big car, the big house.
True.
Are you happy with that? With a car? Yes, you need a car or transportation if you don't live in a city. Yes, you need a house or an apartment. But there's different types of experiences, and I think it behooves you when you're after secondary. What is it? Matriculation. What's it called in Europe?
Before you go to university.
Yeah.
It's called Abitur.
Abitur. Yeah. You need to travel. You need to see how other people live.
Yeah, they do that in England.
And you need to see how other people live. If and you don't need a lot of money. I saved enough money I landed, you're going to laugh. The first place I've been to was Frankfurt. And I was 17 years old, and my parents let me go. This is without cell phones. This is without, you had postcards, and you had changing money in every country.
I had a
That's
picture.
how it was when I went to Nepal. No
Yeah.
phone calls for
Yeah.
6 weeks. My parents
No,
didn't
no.
know where I was.
Completely different feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different. I had a picture of myself, 17 years old in Frankfurt, with a huge sausage.
A huge sausage.
I love Frankfurt sausage. Listen, tell me where I can find your book. So
Yes.
we're gonna finish this lovely English podcast, the first one,
Yes. You can find my book on Amazon.com.
which is called
The Destination
Destination
Diaries, How to
Diaries.
Travel for Life, or Dorrance Publishing, or my website, www.destinationdoctor.org.
Right.
So, and doctorsdr.org.
How we can find you, your fans.
You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, under Edward Dramberger, or just type in Google the Destination Doctor, and you can find everything you want about me.
Fantastic. So I think that's a wrap. Thank you very much. You've been great. I can't believe we just did our first international all English podcast. Thank you very much. You're brilliant.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And the people in Brazil have been very warm, very nice, very lovely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time soon, hope.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was good.
Valeu aí por ter assistido a mais um episódio do podcast dos Criadores de Casos. Agora que tal você dar aquela forcinha, hein? Seguindo e curtindo a gente no nosso canal do Spotify. No YouTube você encontra a gente no canal Trampo, onde você pode assistir a este e os demais episódios em imagens, em youtube.com/trampocanal e em nosso Instagram, @Criadores de Casos. E aproveita e dá aquela moral também para a galera que faz esse podcast acontecer. Seguindo no Instagram a Cristina Teixeira, em @Cris313, o João Dabu, em @JoãoDabu, e o Pedro Fontes, em @eu_Pedro Fontes. E até o nosso próximo episódio dos Criadores de Casos.